What's up, YouTube? I think that men should avoid serious relationships until their 30s or until they travel the world, experience different culture and different cultures, find themselves and learn how to treat and learn how to be treated. And I think that that's very important. I say that because I know a lot of men that are in their 30s, and it's a lot of breakups that happen um, by 30 for people that are in a relationship. It's a lot of cheating that goes on both sides, and men are not mentally ready or mature until after 30. And even with that said, every 5 years a man's mind changes. That's what I realize. It's important to travel the world, go to different countries and date. Not saying that you got to put yourself at risk for certain like sexual diseases, sexually transmitted diseases, but I think you gotta experience how to be valued, right? And the culture of the Western world, including America, I think you gambling with your value. So you're gonna hear a lot that you, as a man, people are gonna require marriage minded men, right? Women are going to require marriage minded men. A lot of women are, but you're going to realize that, or you might not realize it, but marriage used to be something where the root of marriage used to be centered around a man having certain qualities, a woman having certain qualities, and certain requirements within each other, and the modern practices are going to be like men are going to get judged for not being traditional, but a lot of women are not going to want to be traditional, and they're going to do like modern practices, but judge men for also being modern, right? And I'm not saying that to down talk women, but I'm just saying like a lot of men are just not being valued. With that said, it's a lot of bad men that's not valuing women too, but I don't. The mature me realizes that people don't know how to value each other, right? And especially in this modern American world, to where everybody wants so much. Like since this video is about men, well, I believe men should wait until serious relationships. I'm going to kind of like talk to the man, right? I think men need to know how it is to be valued, right? You're as a man, whether you want to admit it now, whether you know it now or not, you're eventually going to be judged on your provider role and your status. AKA, how much do you make? What can you provide to a woman? That's what it's going to come down to. When you're young, you're going to get a pass. But you ever heard that saying that a 21-year-old girl would date a 21-year-old cashier, but that same girl when she turns 35, she wouldn't date a 35-year-old man cashier. Some would, but a majority won't because they're going to look at it like you should be more in a financial set role and should be looking to like provide for like a family and your girl. Whereas a man at 35 was still like date a 35-year-old woman that's a cashier. So with everybody seeing so much on social media in America, like every so many people are posting Mercedes Benz and a new Tesla and Bentleys. A lot of these women have certain requirements, expectations, and standards that are not realistic based on the economy right now. It's a lot of degrees that are not popping off right now. It's a is the look at what's happening with the war and the effect that it's having on gas. Gas is like $7 a gallon now. And artificial intelligence is taking jobs. So it's easy these days for men to be looked down on if they don't make a certain amount, even though they work so hard to make a certain amount and to have certain things. But the way the economy is, they can't keep up with the basketball players and things like that. And a lot of women will judge these men and treat them a certain way if they get the opportunity to be around, like, let's say, an NBA player or something like that. And I'm not saying that women don't have a right to do that, but um, yeah, a lot of women will, if it's something that you don't provide, especially money that another man could, that other man would. And at some point, that woman might take that chance, you know? So it's important that men, and I'm going to do a separate video on how I explain why men should build themselves up financially and physically, but since we're talking about like value right now, it's important that men not let that get to them and see how it feels to be valued overseas, because a lot of women in America will say that um, a lot of men go overseas because the women are more like poor, like especially in Southeast Asian countries like Thailand and the Philippines. And they say a lot of men go over there because the women are poor, and that's why the women like them. But if you think about American women, the standards and the requirements that American women have, especially financially, those American women also want money in a guy, right? The only difference is the women in these Thailand and in these Philippines countries, they appreciate it more because they don't walk out the house seeing Mercedes Benz. They value men that provide more than America women that could value men, because those women in those other countries, that provider role that that man has goes a much longer way, and man spends much less money on providing for those women than he could possibly ever spend in a in American women. So those women are typically still going to, you know, like cater to man, be submissive to man, and appreciate man a lot more, and you're going to feel it. They're going to be okay with learning like how to massage you or stuff, or you know, just displaying different qualities that you might not be used to American women having. And that's not to talk down on American women, but it's just to just say like, guys, it's important to see the difference in being like appreciated in different countries, because those different country women aren't, you know, over obsessed with a Mercedes Benz. Those women in different countries care more about them and their family and themselves having like food in their belly and things like that. So it's going to be displayed in the way that they like respect man, you know. Um, yeah, man, that's just important, man. Travel the world. I always see a lot of men like kind of be mad when they're in relationships before 30, and it's always something that